Our second speaker is Alan Mann. Alan will be completing his 25th Competent Communicator with Project 4 How to Sing. The aims for this speech project focus on your selection of words and phrases. Choose words and grammar which communicate clearly. Choose words and grammar which appeal to the senses. Eliminate jargon. It's 6 to 8 minutes. Tonight, Alan will be sharing an aspect of his Jewish heritage and its influence here in America. His title is A Pinch of Yiddish. A Pinch of Yiddish, Alan Mann.
We call America the Great Melting Pot. And when you think about a melting pot, it's like a big bowl of soup. And part of that ingredient of this big melting pot, this big bowl of soup, all the cultures, includes a pinch of Yiddish language and food. Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and most welcome guests. Yiddish is the historical language of the Jewish people, of the Ashkenazi Jewish people. Ashkenazi Jewish people are Jews who came from Europe, both Germany and Eastern European. Sephardic, if you hear the term Sephardic Jews, they're typically from the Mediterranean portion of the world or even Asia. My family came from Germany and Poland. About 3 years ago, I was having a conversation with my big boss. His last name was McCarthy, definitely not a Jewish sounding name. His family was Catholic. And was using all these terms about the supplier. Like the supplier had a lot of chutzpah. You know, he was giving us schlock parts. He was always using their slip. And it occurred to me that there are a lot of Yiddish phrases that have permeated their way into common, everyday English language. A simple little thing like this little giveaway I got at the district conference. They call these tchotchkes. Well, tchotchke in Yiddish means something of minimal or no value, typically a giveaway. If you go to anybody, if you know anybody in the promotions business, that's what they call these things, tchotchkes. That's a Yiddish phrase, something of little or little value.
Mean.
The word schlep. I'm sure our sergeant at arms knows the term schlep. It means to carry. He's heard by maybe the second portion of the Toastmaster year, they're getting tired of schlepping all the Toastmasters stuff in and out of the meeting place. And they can't wait for somebody else to become sergeant at arms. Schlepping. I guess I'll become a Jew schlepper pretty soon. Schlock. The term used for low quality. I'm a buyer. And again, I was having this conversation about the supplier who is giving us poor quality. We call these suppliers schlock shops. Because, okay, they could do the work, but you're taking your risk about getting your parts to print and on time. Schlock shops. Kibbutz. How many people, someone who gives advice, typically when you don't want to hear advice, how many people have a family member or a friend who kibitz You use, stop kibitzing. Have you ever told anybody to stop kibitzing? And then the chutzpah. That takes a lot of chutzpah to even, take on some of these Toastmaster leadership roles. When you think about it, you don't really know what you're getting into. A lot of chutzpah. Now, there's thousands of Yiddish words, and I'm not saying every one, is common. I mean, the word mensch, which is someone who does a good deed, you don't hear every day. We have a lot of mensches here, especially, first one I think about is Wayne, and the other people here, when I think of somebody, you can always count on it as a good deed, but you don't hear that. Meshuggah, which is Yiddish for crazy, you don't hear that every day, so that's not one of those Yiddish words that fall into everyday language, but there are a lot of, you hear these things, and you wonder where they came from. And they come from this Yiddish heritage. Back, starting in the 1840s, individuals, they started from Germany, and then they came from Eastern European people with Yiddish background. There were Yiddish papers in New York, Yiddish theater. And over the years, some of these words have just become part of our everyday life. You hear them, and you think they're regular English words, but they have to do with our cultural heritage. People who came over across the ocean, and their vocabulary became part of the American, the Russian, Yiddish, Eastern European vocabulary became part of the everyday English vocabulary. But it doesn't even start with vocabulary. There are some foods that, believe it or not, have Yiddish origins. How many people love bagels?
Yeah.
Lots.
Bagels are a Yiddish food. Potato pancakes. They call them latkes, potato pancakes. You can buy potato pancakes over at Stater Brothers there in their deli department. Or even at Gelson's, you want to pay a bit more. Potato pancakes, they've become part of our everyday. You can buy bagels at Starbucks. You buy your latte grande and get a bagel to go with it. So it has become part of our everyday vernacular and dietary. And this is what really makes, this is an example, a prime example of what really makes this country so great. Because again, we have the Yiddish culture, the Filipino culture, the German, the Irish culture, the culture from England. It's like Filipino, right? It's all a mixture, and it becomes, over the years, it becomes part of not the Filipino culture or the Yiddish culture here, but it becomes part of the American culture. So just a little pinch of this culture, a little pinch of this culture, over the years, it becomes part of that great soup, the American culture.